Welcome to Daily Plunge. We're looking at Psalm 98, which is one of the appointed psalms for the first week of Easter. And it is a celebration of what God has done, right? Sing to the Lord a new song. Why are we singing a new song? Because the Lord has done marvelous things. The Lord deserves your praise. And we are just plain dumb if we are ungrateful for all that God has done. Now, what marvelous thing has God done? Well, that's a really long list already, right? But now that he's done a new thing in the incarnation, the crucifixion, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Now, it says that his right hand and his holy arm have worked salvation for him. And this is an idea that we find throughout the Old Testament about how God's right hand is going to bring about God's work, God's will. Now, in the New Testament, Jesus himself says that he will sit at the right hand of God the Father. It says this in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And elsewhere in the book of Acts, in Romans, in Ephesians, Colossians, in the book of Hebrews and Revelation and elsewhere in the New Testament, it talks about how Jesus sits at the right hand of God the Father, which means he is the right hand, doing God's will, executing God's work in the world, right? You think about in the book of Revelation how Jesus takes the scroll of from the right hand of God and he opens it up and he makes it happen. And so Jesus is the one who is making this happen. And in this, he has revealed the Lord's salvation and the Lord's righteousness to all the ends of the earth. And how has he done this? He has done this in the cross. His cross is known through the ends of the earth, not as a sign of execution, of fear, but rather as a sign of what Jesus has done. So we go on. Verse 3, the Lord God has remembered his love and his faithfulness. The cross and the resurrection are a fulfillment of God's promises. And so the Lord has brought his salvation to all. And so shout for joy, all of the earth. All of creation acclaims the Lord, right? And we all should be bursting into jubilant song and music and playing this music on harps and trumpets and ram horns and shouting for joy. And I want to ask you, are you making a joyful noise to the Lord? Are you shouting for joy? Are you in worship, giving praise to God? Goes on, verse 7, let the sea and all the fishes and the earth and all the creatures and let the rivers and the mountains let them clap their hands and sing for joy. Let all of creation sing in praise to its creator for what the Lord has done, because he's come to judge the earth for the sin and brokenness, right? It says he will judge it in righteousness. Now, what is this righteousness? Is that God is our creator and that he is connected with us in rightness, in his goodness, in his mercy, in his justice. And so he will judge the peoples not on a sliding scale, not on our scale, but on his scale of holiness and promise. Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.